Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Teacher's Lounge with me, Dr. Diffins. In this video, we're going to go ahead and step into part 2 of our car buying series, and we're going to look at various ways that you can go about purchasing a car if you're in need of one. Just to kind of quickly recap, last time in part 1, we looked at various websites that you could use to gather information about reliability, recalls, or the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's complaints and car crash information, things like that are available for vehicles that you might be interested in. In this video, we're going to take it a step further. Now that we've identified a car that we're interested in, we can go ahead and look at some of the websites that can help us with the car shopping experience. Now, of course, we know that we could always just go to a car dealership. However, if we're really trying to be money savvy, there's things that we can do to, at the very least, see to ensure that we're getting the best deal possible. All right, so one of the things that you can use, you might already be familiar with this, is the KBB, the Kelley Blue Book. And this is going to give you a rough idea of the value of a car that you're looking for. Just like buying a home, you definitely want to do some research on, the comps or comparable vehicles that you might be interested in purchasing, just to get an idea of the price that others are selling theirs for. And I'll go ahead and pull it up here. We're going to go ahead with a 2013 Nissan Maxima, and we're going to use the zip code, using ones in Miami, 162, just because the big cities tend to have a larger pool to pull from. So I'm going to go ahead here. This website gives some rating information, but we're pretty familiar on where to go to find additional information. They have a review here. Okay, but what I'm looking for is, here we go. I'm looking for the Kelley Blue Book price. So I'm going to go up here to get my car's value. And what I like here is they're actually giving us some option. This is a step up from what they've done in the past. So it looks like this car, the 2013 Nissan Maxima, had two models, the sedan or the SV, which would be the higher price model. I'm going to go ahead just to get a range, and I'm going to do the S model. It's a 2013, so it's about 10 years old. And on average, cars, they typically, I want to say it's about 12,000 miles a year that you'd expect on a car. So a car of this year, I'd be expecting to purchase one with about 120,000 miles on it. And this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to go ahead with the equipment. I'm going to just, more or less keep it simple because I don't have the specifics of a vehicle. I do know that I'd like a silver or gray one, so I'm going to pick that color. And I'm going to go ahead and look here, and I'm going to get the trade-in value as well as the private party value. And for here, I'm going to go ahead and put the condition as good. On KBB, they have a condition quiz, and you just take this as a quick quiz, and it'll give you an idea of where your car or the prospective car that you're looking for, which condition or what condition it would be in. Because it's 2013, I'd expect it to be in good condition. Definitely not excellent. I wouldn't expect it to look new and be in excellent mechanical condition. And also, I wouldn't expect it to be very good with minor cosmetic. I'd expect a 10-year-old car to have some, things going on with it. So here we go. It's calculating the Kelley Blue Book value. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead here, and it's going to give me a nice range. And what I like, again, about this website is that it's giving me a range of what I'd expect to receive in a trade-in. So between $5,000 and $7,000, with an average being $6,000. And then a private party value of $7,000 to $9,000, with an average of $8,000. So as you can see, obviously, a trade-in is what you're going to do. You're going to take your car to a dealer, trade it in, and of course, they have work that they're going to do with it, right? They're going to take it, vacuum it, detail it, possibly change the tires, maybe a new battery. They're going to make sure it meets their inspection requirements and then go ahead and resell it to someone. So that's why they purchase theirs for a lot less than what you'd expect to pay at a private party. However, having this information, it gives you a good, actually they give a definition here. It says use these values to help make a confident decision on whether to sell, trade, or donate your vehicle. So it just gives you a range of what to look for. So again, I know for the 2013, 120,000 miles, I'm expecting to spend about $8,000. Now, one point is that at the filming of this video, the recording of this video, it's May 2022, and due to a variety of things, inflation and supply chain issues, the car market has actually been pretty elevated. I think more so than even historical levels, to the point of where some people have reported that after 3 years, when their 3-year leases are up, say in the last year or so, they've actually been able to sell their cars as opposed to just sell their cars for a profit, as opposed to just turning it in, to the dealer like you would typically do. So market prices are a little bit, they're inflated, if you will, but that's just where we are right now in this day. I'm gonna go ahead and start with AutoTrader. And here you see I have my information here for the Orlando area. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the vehicle make and model that I'm interested in. All right, so what I did, I went ahead and put in for the Nissan Maxima, and I'm going to just do a 75-mile range. I know I'm looking or expecting to pay about $8,000. I put from the years 2012 to 2014. And I'm going to go ahead and hit... Sorry, I'm just looking for the search button. And it looks like actually it might automatically be updating. Perfect. So I see 13 results. Okay. So here I see a 2014. This is a sponsored one. 2014 with 40,000 miles. I see for almost $18,000. I will say just by looking at these vehicles, without doing any further research, I will say this seems extremely expensive, but I think it has to do with what I mentioned before as far as the supply chain. So right now I'm really just looking at the, comparables. Here you see a 2014 with 108,000 miles, and there's the SV model, which I think was the higher end, and they're asking close to 14. So okay, I see that these are going to be pretty pricey. So again, it's going to depend on what budget range you're in. Okay, here, and these are all dealer ratings or dealer priced. All right, so I see that the car prices again seem to be exceptionally high. Now, your decision as far as whether you're going to purchase from a dealer or if you're going to check your, local buying options, for example, Craigslist, that's a decision you'll have to make. However, there's some things that I think it's important to consider when you're making that decision. One thing to consider is that you will definitely want to invest in a CARFAX report. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this car here, just as an example. And the CARFAX report's a vehicle history report. Now, I would say this doesn't replace an inspection. If you're going to spend, a couple thousand or actually thousands of dollars on a car, you definitely want to spend the $30 or $40 that it, costs to get a vehicle report. And I know in the past, I don't know what it's like now, but in the past, I believe CARFAX had an option of like 30 days for maybe $60 of unlimited report pools. So that way you can see the vehicle's history. You still would want to take it to a mechanic or have a friend go with you to look for defects. Again, when I shop for cars, I'm looking worst case scenario. So that way I'm not purchasing a lemon or purchasing a car that's a problem. And then on top of that, you want to do obviously your visual inspections. So maybe a car's been in an accident and it's not showing up on the CARFAX report. There's things you're going to want to look for just to make sure that you're making the best purchase possible. All right, so moving on, here we have the information on the CARFAX, year purchase, the use, the estimated miles per year, and it goes through showing if there are any issues with the vehicle. Okay, and it even goes into the servicing information, which I think is pretty cool because it will show you, locations of where the vehicle's been serviced or where it's lived. This particular vehicle has been in New Orleans, so it's spent a lot of time in Louisiana, it looks like. And then here it was registered or reported in Las Vegas. And I'm thinking this was probably for an auction because it looks like it was sold in an auction about a month later. And then now it's for sale at a dealership in Orlando. Okay. So very thorough history. I'd say, since I'm on here, let me see if I can pull up real quick their pricing. Okay, here it is. So here's the information I was looking for on CARFAX, and it looks like you can purchase them. It's changed a little bit, but you can see where the more you purchase, the cheaper the price. Again, it's $100 for 6 reports. Now, as you saw in this example, a lot of dealers will actually show or provide a CARFAX for free. At least on AutoTrader they do. Other ones you may have to, pay for them. But again, if you're going to spend thousands of dollars, $100 for 6 CARFAX reports may very well be worth it. All right, so now on to the topic of whether you want to purchase private party or through a dealership. This, of course, is going to come down to your comfort level, knowledge of cars, and your overall experience purchasing vehicles, whether you've done them in the past, in person, through private party, or via dealership, in the past. So personally, I am a fan of Craigslist to purchase my vehicles. I have purchased vehicles from dealerships in the past, but Craigslist has been a positive experience. So typically you just go on there, you go to cars and trucks, and you just type in the make that you're looking for. So in this case, looking for a Nissan Maxima. I'm just going to type in Maxima because people may enter it differently in their titles. Here over in the left-hand corner, you can see that it's showing all vehicles. There's the option for owners, and then there's the option for dealer in terms of, is it a private person selling their car as the owner, or is a dealer selling it? And then I see here that this is something that they've added. I haven't seen this, at least in the past, where they have an average vehicle cost, I assume, for this particular vehicle. We know the years, so I'm going to go ahead and type in 2012 to 2014. Those were the years I was looking for. And I'm going to go ahead and update search. You can see here that there's 11 vehicles available. If I wanted to filter, or if I want to take a look at, okay, so these are some of the dealers, and I see some that might be private party. If I'm sure that I'm okay meeting with somebody, I would click owner, and then I would just give it a click and see what's out there. So here for $8,000, 170,000 miles, seems like a lot. I can do some looking around. You'll notice here, and this is something that you'll over time, if you spend time on Craigslist, you'll notice the difference. Here there's a tag that says dealer. So even though this person didn't list it under the dealer tab, as these more formal dealers, have listed, at least from what I can see, it looks like they're a dealer. And with this car here, let's see, this one doesn't have a plate. Prices firms, have some things here. Show contact information. So you'll want to determine if, or you're going to have to make the decision if you want to purchase from a formal dealer or possibly a dealer on Craigslist. And the dealers on Craigslist typically are people that have they have an auction license. So they go to the auctions, they purchase the vehicles, just like the CARFAX report I showed you before. They purchase the vehicle at auction, do some conditioning to it, and then resell it to you. Unlike a car dealership, they probably would not be offering it to you with warranty, and they likely don't have as big of a network or structure as a formal car dealership. However, in the majority of states, in order to have a dealer's license, you have to have a form of insurance, and you have to be licensed through the state. So that is encouraging sometimes, or that's very encouraging to know that it's not just people randomly selling vehicles if they're representing it or selling it as if the person's a dealer, then they likely will have multiple listings. And personally, I don't like buying from dealers on Craigslist or people that attend auction because the car doesn't have any history to it. So I went through the search bar on Craigslist, entered the phone number. I only see this person has this car listed. Okay. Makes you feel a little bit better. Might be something I'm interested in pursuing. All right, back to it. We saw in Orlando there were only 2 private parties listed. So that's not enough because I only have 2 vehicles. I need more options. So I'm going to go ahead and explore just the surrounding area. Go to Tampa. Going to type in Maxima. Spell that. Okay. All right. Well, this one, wow, they have 191. I haven't put my dates in yet. That'll slim it down some. For 2012 to 2014. All right, this one's 48. Perfect. So it looks like I might have something to work with. And remember I said I am looking for owners. Okay, but it looks like when I typed in owners, it came up with a Chevy Malibu. So somebody must have Maxima in the Chevy Malibu wording somewhere. That's why I picked it up, but it's not a private seller. So again, here I'm back to just dealers. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead to, I'm thinking about reasonable distance. I'm going to hit Sarasota, and then I'm going to hit Naples and Fort Myers. So let me go to Sarasota. So anyways, that would be one option is using Craigslist. I showed you the option earlier of AutoTrader, and then you have, again, other sites. You have Carguru is a site. Let me type that in here. Carguru. And see what I come up with here. Same Nissan, Maxima, and let's see, 33162. Okay, all right, 133 results. So this looks promising. Let's see, this is no, oh yeah, well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and start filtering. And if I want under 100,000 or around 100,000, I'm gonna put, say, 103 is my limit. No, I want something new-ish. And then I know I don't want to pay, definitely not 150,000, but let me bring that down to maybe 15,000. You see it brought me down to 13 listings. And then, all right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so this one, all right, so 13,000 here, 7,000 here. And again, you would just go through and, do the research that way. So I hope that you found this video useful. It's just part 2. I'm going to go ahead and in the description, I'll put a article on just tips and tricks for shopping on Craigslist. Yes, it probably has a bad reputation because some bad things have happened, but I can tell you I've purchased 1, 2, 3 cars off of Craigslist, and they've been trouble-free, and the experience has been seamless. Just a quick note, what I like to do is I like to look into the story of the cars. So, for example, a vehicle I bought on there, in the ad, it said, driven by, we call them snowbirds here in Florida, driven by people that only come to Florida 6 months. I looked at the mileage, I pulled the CARFAX report, met with the people, and their story, like everything aligned, right? So not to get too deep into it, but that's how I personally do it. Like to make sure that it makes sense so that not anything shady or anything that, you say you bought it 1 year and CARFAX report shows something different. You say it wasn't an accident, but it shows that it was. So I get all those things squared away. And like I said, the purchases have been seamless. So I hope you found it helpful. And as always, this is Dr. Diffins signing off. Bye-bye.